Hello and welcome back to the Remford Expert Series. Also welcome all participants in the United States, Canada, and as well from other international countries. My name is Manfred Tauber and I am Head of Global Education at Remford. Today I would like to welcome, and it's my pleasure, Raphael Sandrich from Aventura in Florida, United States. Raphael Sandrich was born in Cali in Colombia. He is currently operating his own dental laboratory in Aventura, Florida, and he specializes in all fixed restorations and custom cosmetics. In 28 years of experience, he has also completed several digital photography courses taught by many experts. In 2012, Raphael Sandrich gave his first course in Spanish for the company Ivoclar-Vivadent in USA, also in Florida. And he's now an international key opinion leader and also a lecturer for Ivoclar-Vivadent. He's also a graduate of the press technology certification programs of IPS Emacs and IPS Empress at the Las Vegas Institute. And currently he is honorary member of the Colombian Academy of Osseointegration. Today he will talk about the scoop technique. He is the creator of them. And with this webinar, he will present his scoop technique. That means creating concavity in lingual incisal to create translucency. Now look forward to an exciting presentation to learn more about this special technique. And I hand now over to you, Raphael Sandrich.
Hello, Manfred. How are
Hello.
you? Thank you so much for the invitation, and thank you everybody for spend time with us. So it's time to start, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's start. Okay, guys, this is the guilty picture of a scoop. This is the patient that I saw a long time ago, like 12 years ago, because you know she was one of our patients, and she came to the practice because she wants to change the two central teeth. So you know, I work next to three prosthodontics. So one of them called me, and Rafa, let me introduce Mr. whatever is the name of the person. And she wants to change this the frontal teeth. And let's take the color. So I was super impressed when I see that kind of a contrast between cervical dentin and incisal edge, because if you take a nice observation about it, you can see properly the real opal effect that you see in the incisal edge is amazing. So you know, I was in shock when I saw that, because you know the person was super tired with that teeth and they want to change it. So I request the doctor to put an intraoral mirror, because you know I was curious why that opal effect was so hard in that kind of teeth. So when I see inside the mouth and I see the palatal side of the centrals, I see that the patient's grinds completely the dentin that the teeth has in lingual, and they leave only the buccal part of the tooth. That's why we can see all the translucency through the buccal, because what happened? The oral concavity is dark, so translucency plus dark, you know, you can create some kind of translucency. So that's why. So of course I go to the lab and I start doing some testing. I'm gonna start doing some calibrations in the wax, some calibrations, then in the press, and I figured out that I can develop something really nice. So that's why we develop a scoop technique. And so we want to show a little bit what are the best 5 philosophies of a scoop, and then I want to start show you guys some cases. And I will show you my first course that I did with a scoop. So let's start, okay? So this is a picture that I took with Carlos Ayala. Carlos Ayala is a famous photographer that is a dentist too, from Peru. I bring him to the lab to help me to take a picture of the step of what we are doing, what we are try to develop, what we are trying to teach. So he helped me with the pictures of the scoop technique step by step. So what is the advantage of a scoop technique? Is one of those is incisal position, because what happened? Let's say you did a diagnostic wax up, right? If you do a diagnostic wax up and then you follow that in your press technique or in your CAD/CAM technique, you have the incisal position, because what happened? Normally we cut back from buccal and we add ceramic, but we know that normally the ceramic contracts, so we never get in the same position. We get close, but we never get in the same position. With the scoop, yes. With scoop, yes, because you do the carving from lingual. That's why you have control of the incisal position, and you have control of your shape, because you are not modifying the shape. Normally, when we do ceramic, we modify the shape a little bit. Opacity, why? Because, you know, we are preparing the tooth from buccal to lingual. More thick is the wall, more opacity you have. Translucency, why? Because more thinner is the wall, you have more translucency. And value, why value? Because, you know, normally we technicians love to use too much enamels, too much opals, too much translucency. And sometimes we change the value. Sometimes we change the value because we can control that sometimes. And sometimes we don't think that the concavity of the mouth is dark. So sometimes we see a nice crowns in the model, but when we go to the mouth, everything looks grayish. It's because we use too much translucency, too much enamels. So one of the ways to control the value of the restoration is doing that technique, okay? So let me show you my first case. So this is the initial situation of the patient. We decide to do a bleach, okay? So in that way we pick it up, what kind of ingot we wanna use, and technique and everything. So in that case, we already have the pressed tooth in the solid model. And you guys can see that we reduce the lingual part like 2 millimeters inside, okay? And you see, 2 millimeters. So we create a thin wall. And this is the way, this is an example. The color that the image that you see in the left side is the color that we place from palatal, right? And the color you can see, the imaging you can see in the right side is the translucency, or is the color that you transmit from palatal to buccal. That's why I say, if you want to control opacity, you make that wall a little bit thicker. If you want more translucency, you make it a little bit thinner. So more thicker is the wall, more opacity you have. More thinner is the wall, more translucency you have, right? So it's a double technique. You need to do an external glaze, in the external stain and glaze technique, because you need to finish your crown with the effects you like. Crack lines, cervical, more chromatic and cervical, or whatever you need to do. And then you need to do the internal stain in the concavity of the scoop to create more three-dimensional movements, okay? So that's why we use two techniques in the same shot. The same shot, you need to do two techniques: the external part of the crown and the internal part of the tooth, that is the scoop. Okay. So for the tooth that I need to mimic, I use this kind of effects. Some cream, some blue, some white, and then I bake it, and I did all my stratification with Opal 1 from IMAX Ceram. Okay. And this is the try-in. Remember, that was my first case using a scoop technique. Okay. So this is a month control. Okay. We did the value picture, and this is our final result. 2-3 months later. You guys need to understand that it's a 90% monolithic crown. We did only 5% or 6% of stratification. So it's really important to pick the right ingot, and do then your nice wax up, your nice texture, your nice technique. So Ivoclar helped me to publish that article in Germany. That was like 11 years ago. So we did that article. And this is a nice case that we did using two kind of technologies. We did a CAD/CAM technology using two different materials, because I think it's important to understand what happened with each material. So we use Empress and we use IMAX CAD. And we did the same. We did the internal stain from inside the concavity. We did the external stain, follow some characteristics of the restoration. And then once the glaze is finished, we need to follow. For example, if you put in the concavity blue in the distal and mesial, a little bit of chroma in the mamelons in the middle of the tooth, the idea is try to follow the same color with the ceramic. So if I put blue stain in distal and mesial, I need to put blue enamel in distal and mesial. if I put a little bit of Mamelon light in, if I put a little bit of cream in the Mamelon area, I need to put a little bit of Mamelon light. Okay, we can create some translucency with clear, and then we cover everything with enamels. So we need to do the same build that what we do from buccal, but from palatal, okay? This is step by step what we do. That's the result of the 2 restorations. Okay. So this is step by step. You can see how much translucency we can create from palatal. And remember, we need to finish first buccal side. And then we need to start the build-up. Cover everything with enamel. And here is the translucency of the restoration. Here is the case done. And we can see here how the materials works different. For example, we pick the same color, but we can see that the Empress Crown has more luminosity in the incisal edge than the IMAX ones. So it's really important to understand what is the ideal material that we need to use, okay? This is another case that we are doing some different crowns, different veneers with different stump shades colors. So this is our patient with the preparation. So in that case, for example, we wax, normally we wax everything. We use the geo wax a lot. We wax 100% everything in wax and then press. I consider that for posterior teeth, we can find a lot of material that give us enough strength, enough aesthetics in the posteriors. And I think monolithic is the future in the posterior restorations. So we use IMAX press for most of our big cases. So, and then we do a stain and glazing posteriors, and you can see here in the anteriors, everything is already glazed in the concavity. You see blue in the distal and mesial and some chroma in the middle of the tooth. This is the case finished in the solid model. And this is our trying, okay? And this is the case like 6 months later. You can see all the effects you see in the incisal edge are from palatal and from palatal. But the beauty of this case is we have a lot of, we have some vitality in the incisal edge, and we have the value control. You can see that this is like a 1-in-1 BL4 color, and still we have a nice value control, but we have some vitality in the incisal edge. That is the idea of a scoop. Create some 3-dimensional movement in that part of the restoration. You can see here too the nice integration in the soft tissue that is really important too. Okay, you can see the vitality of the restorations. And this we published that case here in America, and then Ivoclar did all the global information about change from ingots values to MT. Remember, we have before value ingots that are value 1, value 2, value 3, and opal 1, value 2, opal 1, opal 2, and then we change everything to a medium translucency ingot. So they use my case to do the global campaign promoting this case, this material. This is another case that we did with some friends in Venezuela, where we have a big composite between the teeth, and then they remove the composite, and we find out the biggest space between centrals. And he did his nice preparation, going back to maybe at the same level, a little bit back from the papilla, because is the only way that you guys cover the connection between restoration and teeth. So he did a great job. Then he gives me the stump shade information that is really important when we use translucent materials. Then they did the workshop in Venezuela, and from there we did the mock-up. Okay, we did the mock-up, and then we press everything. We wax, press, and then we start finishing our crowns. You see, I did the build-up with different ceramics, different colors to create a 3D effect in the incisal edge. And this is the case finished in our solid model. You can see the movement, the colors in the incisal part. This is a weak control. This is a 8 months control. You can see the movement in the teeth, the individualization between each restoration. We always are focusing in our, nice gingival contours, nice incisal embrasures, and try to make everything more natural, not like piano keys or something in one color. That is really, really, in this market in America, everybody wants white colors. So this is our final case. And this is the article we did. This is something a little bit more extreme, this is a young girl that, break his front teeth doing skateboard, and, was super hard treatment because she tried like 5 times to do a bone graft and all the stuff. And at the end, everything, at the end, finally, the bone graft healed. And the surgeon sent me the case and told me, Rafael, I need to place ideally 3 teeth in the space that I have. So from there, he started his surgery, and then implants heal. They put, the prosto guy put some snap-on restoration until the implants get healed properly. So when the patient was ready to take the impression, we did an indirect impression to get exact copy of the temporaries to mimic all the restoration to that. So these cases are special. That, like I say before, I normally work with 3 prosthodontics next to me. So the big cases and the important cases, normally I'm available to start the case in the morning and finish the case in the afternoon, no matter what. So this is our trying, everything is, before we normally use press technology. So we wax everything before press. This is our case. In the moment that patient came, we start doing the trying, shaping the teeth, organizing occlusion, pushing a little bit of soft tissue. If we have too much pressure, we start removing pressure little by little. Now we know that we don't have papilla in that space, so we took the color of the gum. Then we go to the lab, and you can see now the translucency that we start creating the incisal edges, little by little. Then we go to the lab and we finish our case. We did a 3-unit bridge, IMAX bridge, and 1 single veneer. This is the case in the mouth 2 months later. You see, still the soft tissue, needs some work, needs some regeneration, but I think the result is something, acceptable. From we start to now, I think it's something really acceptable. But you see the vitality of the incisal edges is not ceramic, it's not buccal buildup. It's something that we create from the palatal of the tooth. So we can create shape, we can create value, we can control the value. Value is really, really important. More when you try to use A1, B1 colors, that if you put too much clear or whatever enamel in the amount that is not properly, you will get low value restorations. Okay, so this is the close-up of the restoration. This is a nice case. This is a nice case because it's a complex case. This is a friend of mine that she had for so many years gold onlays and inlays in the posterior area. And you know, gold is amazing material for restoration, but you know what? Grind, you know, with the time, everything get down and get lost. You know, you lost all your gold, you lost everything, and at the same time, you guys are, you know, everybody is closing vertical dimension. So what is the protocol here, or what is the treatment here? The treatment here is remove the gold restorations and try to compensate a little bit the curve of SB. So we start doing something in the posteriors, in the lower posteriors. So we did the eggshell design to create the posterior crowns. We did the design, then we did the preparations with the preparations and take the intraoral impression with the scanner, with the iTero scanner. And at the same time, we develop with the same file, we developed the eggshell for the upper part. But the idea was deliver first the lower crowns to organize the curve of the SB. Okay, and that was our protocol. Deliver first the lower crowns. We did a zirconia crowns stain and glaze that, like I said before, I think is enough material to make a nice and good restorations. And then once we cement the lower crowns, we go to the upper arch and start develop our final restoration. We place our PMMA. Then the doctor reprep and take the intraoral impression with the iTero scanner. You see, everything works from the same design. Now it's time to jump from PMMA to ceramic. So we talked with the patient, and the patient, you know, did some small changes. So we did the small changes, and we, in that case, we mill the wax, then we press. You see, we create the concavity. We create our buccal anatomy. This is the day of the try-in. This is a month of follow-up, 3 months of follow-up, 6 months of follow-up, 1 year of follow-up. But you see, everything is using the same technique, the same concept. Do the wax, press, and then fill the spaces with the lingual spaces with some stain and then some ceramic. Okay, this is the publication we did twice with Lapline. This is, you can see this amazing restoration that we received. You know, everything super the adaptation was, the fit was super bad, the adaptation was super bad, the gums are, you know, in bad shape. So doctor removed everything, put new temporaries, and then send everything to me. You know, he sent me all the picture with the color. You know, we wax, we press, and we start doing the same. You see, filling the concavity. You see, you can see the translucency that we can create from palatal. You know, it's really important that you guys work with a nice wax, because some waxes are more crystallized than the other ones. You know, I find out that the Geo one is really soft, really nice. So we can take the carver and go from the palatal side, and you can leave a nice surface. And then when you press, it's really the material is really easy to organize and follow the you know, they have a good copy of anatomy and everything. It's really nice. So you can see the translucency. This is really important. It's really important that you calibrate your wax before you press, because then it's dangerous going to any instrument to try to calibrate, because, you know, the material is, Emax is really hard in that stage. So it's really important to calibrate the wax before you guys press. So this is the case 6 months later. We can see here the texture, all the anatomy. You know, it's something soft. It's something that break the incisal edge and make everything non-monolithic. It's like create the 3D effect. Okay, this is the case. We can see the integration in the soft tissue. And big cases, we can do the same. You know, for the implant cases, we can do the same. We can do. Let me check my timer because I need to see how we are. This is something really, really important. You know, we can apply the technique in different ways. So this is the way that we receive this patient. He did the impression directly to the implant. And you know, we normally do for this kind of cases, we do a prototype. We do a prototype because we want to know where we need to go, where we go. Okay, so in that prototype, we can show the patient, we can show the doctor that we need to use some components that bring the angulation a little bit lingual, like a multi-unit. So we go back to the lab, we change the plan, we use some multi-units. And now we can see in the software that we can have all our screw holes in a little bit palatal. So in that way, we can make a new prototype. We can make a new prototype, send it to the try-in. And once everything is fine, once the patient approves everything, we go to the CAD-CAM again. And we mill the zirconia frame and we do cuspid to cuspid, premolar to premolar, single IMAX crowns. Okay, so we have the frame, we have the wax, then we have the zirconia frame done. This is Pretau. Then we need to start doing our wax, our pink ceramic buildup. You know, little by little. Then we press our IMAX crowns. And now we have everything done buccally. You see, we have our contours, our color. When we are happy with the colors, and of course, we already have some internal characteristic in the scoop area. And you can see the translucency we can create with the calibration of the wax. Now we are focusing more in that. And now we already filled all the spaces with different ceramic. We glue in that time, we glue the crowns directly to the zirconia. And we use that glycerin liquid around the margins to avoid some discoloration of the cement later on. So you can see the vitality of the restorations with the scoop technique. You can see some movements, you can see some translucency, some crack lines, some different colors in the incisal part. And this is the case in the mouth. Using 95% monolithic crown and a little bit of ceramic in the lingual incisal portion. Okay, but the important tip here is you need to use the same colors with ceramic that you use in stains. So you can create movement. Okay, this is another view of the picture. This is the restorations on different movement, different positions. Teeth looks individual. Okay, but let's say that you know, make a big case is kind of not easy, but it's really hard. It's less harder than make a single crowns. So this is a tooth that, you know, have a root reabsorption, and doctor places the implant, then doctor places try to take the impression and try to take the color. But you know, for me, that part of the color is wrong because he already manipulated the tooth, so he already manipulated the mouth. So for me, that color is wrong because the teeth at this point is dry. So I try to explain to the doctor, but you know, anyway, we make the crown, we try to match with the color he sent to us. Of course, we follow all the protocols to follow and to capture whatever we need to do to give him whatever he needs to do. So this is all the great job he did with his temporary. And this is our crown over our zirconia abutment. You see some different colors in the scoop portion. Then we follow all the things with our enamels. And this is the trying of the crown. You see, it's a little bit light. So yeah, in that way, we confirm that the picture he took was wrong, because, you know, sometimes the colors get down in color and when in chroma half shape or one shape. So we need to be careful with that when we take colors. So this is our final crown later on. So, and you see, you know, the gum level is a little bit high, but you know, you can see if you pick the right ingot, if you do a nice technique of the stratification, you can get really, really, really close to the natural teeth. Okay. This is another central. He did all his job, really nice job. You know, give me the information of his soft tissue. We did a try-in, the same problem. We did a try-in. Everything was a little bit light because, you know, I think the technique of take the color is really, really sensitive. And then we modified the tooth, and this is the day of the delivery. We can see the integration of our single crown in the mouth. You know, different angles. You can see all the incisal movement, all the incisal colors are there. You know, it's something that is something that we need to learn, how we pick the right ingot to be and stay close to the single restoration. Like I said before, make 6 veneers or 8 veneers is kind of easy, but when you need to match one tooth and don't do the buildup in the way we normally do, using 13, 14 powders, is really hard. But we can do it. We can do it if we have a good eye. If we train the eye, we can get nice results. This is another nice case, you know, reabsorption. This is from my friend from Juan Delgado from Mexico. You know, he did a nice job in the surgery with his surgeon. You know, clean protocols, clean procedures. He placed the implants. He put the bone graft. Then he used his own teeth like a temporary. That is the best temporary ever. Then he, you know, he did the retrofit over his abutment, and then they let everything heal. Look that him take the picture before he removed the temporary. So this is the right moment to take the color. Not once you remove the temporary, because once you remove the temporary, patient has at least 5-10 minutes with his mouth open and the teeth get dry. So you need to do it in that moment. So what happened now? Now we have the polarized picture. He sent me all the information because, you know, we are working from distance. We're working from Mexico to Miami. So he does the indirect technique to capture the soft tissue emergence profile. When he captured the profile, he goes to the mouth, plays the impression copying, and then he took the impression. He sent me everything to me. You know, this is the original model. This is model number 1. You see, you can see the GeoWax here in our model. I do normally 2 models. One is for delivery the crown, and second is for do our dirty job, because, you know, we do dirty job in the lab. We do shaping, we do scarping, we do whatever we need to do. Okay, then we press. You see, we can do our nice anatomy, our nice contours, following the tooth that we need to copy. Now we have the press, we have the fitting. You see, we can do little by little. We do, you know, at this point was long time ago that I did this case. So at that point we are doing little by little, you know, with nice instrument like a lentil shape, little by little. I've been doing my concavity calibration, doing the calibration until I get the point that that I like. This is our stain technique. So we control with our polarized camera from a Smileline. We calibrate the polarized effects that they give me in his picture, and then we start using some coloring. You know, this tooth has a special characteristic from palatal, so we use the material that is from Sascha Hain, that you mix the liquid with the ceramic, and you can see the real color in the ceramic. So we use that technique too, and you can see here in the incisal edge of the central, you can see the yellow color. And then this is the crown glazed. And of course, I sent 2 crowns to him to Mexico because, you know, we are in distance. So I made 2 crowns and I sent 2 crowns to him. He did the cementation. And this is the crown in the mouth. Okay, this is the scoop technique crown in the mouth. This is the polarized picture. This is our 1-year control crown. Okay. So, you know, little by little, we are start developing the technique, doing nice cases and showing our industry that the technique works, because, you know, sometimes you create, people doesn't believe that different techniques works like something that we are been doing for so many years. So this is a really important case that is the wife of one dentist that I worked with me for several years, and he tried to maintain her teeth in the mouth for years and years, doing composite here, composite there. But you know what? The tooth has a big root reabsorption, some big lesions. So he decided to place an implant. So this is the day that I meet her in the second stage. Okay, this is not the right time to pick the color because the mouth is already exposed, opening the soft tissue. So it's not the right place it's not the right moment to take the color. So in that case, we use a Emax-Cut abutment, and you know, it's a nice technique because everything fits 100% between each, you know, tie base with the block fit perfectly. So we use the scan body to tell the software that what kind of a implant we are using. We mill the abutment, then we go back to the patient. This is the day that we need to take the color because everything is fresh and stable. Then we remove the temporary. We try, you know, this is a academic picture, you know, this is not the right shape of the abutment. This is only for a teaching purpose, to show the picture how looks the block before crystallization. Okay, this is the abutment already crystallized. We cement the abutment over the T-base using multi-link implant cement. Then we use our famous wax. You know, we normally like to use the wax that is for margin, the red one, the red one, to cover our base of the tooth. You know, the first layer of the wax, we use the Geo Red. Okay, and on top, you know, for us it's more like a more flexible, and then we use the gray one. We use the gray one to do the final contour. Okay, and we seal the margin with the red one too. Then we press. You know, the fit is really good. So we can see the emergence profile of the abutment. We can see the fit of the crown. We can see all the characteristics that we place from palatal of the tooth. we can see the buccal, you can see guys there, the buccal characteristics, the crack lines, all the effects that we need to match the tooth, because the tooth is really, really, really hard. We can see the emergence profile too. And we can see here all the crown is already done. The crown here is already done. Here in our model, here is the tooth that we need to match. Right? This is the abutment in place. And this is our final crown. Okay? So this is something that you need to pick the right ingot, No, because it's anterior case, everybody use HT, because everybody assume that HT means translucency and it's aesthetic. No, for me, it's the opposite. You know, HT is a block that I use only for onlays because they need to absorb the concavity of the tooth. I use different materials to do my aesthetic cases. I never use HT to make my anterior cases. I use LT, I use MT, I use multi. Multi is amazing block. But you know, it's a sensitive technique. Like when we build ceramic, you know, I built ceramic for 15 years. That's why I have my eye training in color and in what I need to use, what I don't need to use. So check. You know, this is a difficult case that I did with a crown that is 95% monolithic crown. And I did all my movement with different colors and different ceramics, but you know, it's a ingot selection. Ingot selection is really, really, really important. So you can see another view of the crown. You know, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's a difficult case. It's a tough case. I can guarantee that if we build this crown, we need to do it like 2 or 3 times to get close to the original color. So guys, this is my engine. This is my engine. This is my family. This is something that I respect. I respect, that I love, because it's the people that I always miss when I travel, when I always out of the home teaching. So I respect them a lot, because you know, they are always with his arms open to receive me when I come back to all of my training or whatever I do for work. So this is my family. This is everybody. This is, you know, we are 5. We have 3 teenagers. So we have a busy life, because you know, I show this picture because sometimes people believe that we have different life than everybody, and we have the same life. Plus our travels, plus our lectures, right, Manfred? So it's you know, we have a busy life, but you know, we enjoy it. We enjoy to share with everybody what we do. That, you know, we try to do something good. So I need to thank everybody to join us tonight, and I want to leave my presentation with a nice video that we make with the picture with Carlos Ayala. You can see there some GeoWax too. So Manfred, thank you for the opportunity, and we keep in touch, okay?
Yeah, thank you. It was very interesting